Hello guys, I'm Connor, bringing you another spine-chilling story from the annals of unsolved mysteries. Today, we're going to delve into one of the most infamous and terrifying cases in American history, the Zodiac Killer. If you're a fan of mysteries, you won't want to miss this story. Remember to follow the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. Now, let's get started. Our story begins in the late 1960s, a period of great social change and turmoil in the United States. Amid the Vietnam War, civil rights movements, and a cultural revolution, a series of brutal and perplexing crimes shook the nation. These were the crimes of the Zodiac Killer, a mysterious and sadistic figure who terrorized Northern California for several years, leaving behind a trail of fear, confusion, and blood. The saga of the Zodiac Killer officially began on December 20th, 1968, in Vallejo, California. On that cold winter night, high school students Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday went out on their first date. They drove to a remote spot on Lake Herman Road, a popular meeting place for couples. While they were in the car, an unknown assailant approached and opened fire, killing both teenagers. This brutal double murder sent shockwaves through the community, but it was only the beginning. Fast forward to July 4th, 1969, Independence Day. Another young couple, Darlene Ferrin and Michael Mageau, were parked at Blue Rock Springs Park, just a few miles from the site of the first attack. Around midnight, a car pulled up beside them. The driver got out, approached their vehicle, and without warning, began shooting. Darlene was fatally wounded, while Michael miraculously survived despite being shot multiple times. Later, he provided a description of the attacker, a white male in his late 20s to early 30s, with short, light-colored hair. A few weeks later, the Zodiac Killer made his presence known in a way that cemented his notoriety. On August 1, 1969, three major newspapers in the San Francisco Bay Area received identical letters. These were no ordinary letters. They were filled with bizarre and provocative language, taunting the police and daring them to catch him. But the most chilling part of these letters was the inclusion of a cryptogram, a complex code that the killer claimed would reveal his identity if deciphered. The Zodiac demanded that the letters be published on the front page of each newspaper, threatening to go on a killing spree if his demands were not met. The cryptograms, known as the Zodiac ciphers, became an obsession for amateur and professional codebreakers alike. The first cryptogram, known as the 408 symbol cipher, was eventually cracked by a teacher and his wife. However, it did not provide any clues to the killer's identity, only a disturbing message that read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." As the investigation continued, the Zodiac Killer struck again. On September 27, 1969, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard were enjoying a peaceful afternoon at Lake Berryessa, near Napa. They were approached by a man wearing an executioner-style hood and a bib-like garment with a white cross circle symbol on it. The attacker tied them up before brutally stabbing them. Cecilia succumbed to her injuries, but Brian survived and provided another description of their assailant. Just 2 weeks later, on October 11, 1969, San Francisco taxi driver Paul Stine was shot to death in the city's upscale Presidio Heights neighborhood. The killer took Stine's wallet and car keys but left behind a pair of gloves. Witnesses saw a man leaving the scene and were able to give a description to the police. Despite this, the Zodiac managed to evade capture once again. Throughout this period, the Zodiac Killer continued to send taunting letters to the press and the police. In these letters, he took credit for the murders and provided details that only the killer would know. He also included more ciphers, some of which remain unsolved to this day. His communications were filled with cryptic symbols, astrological references, and threats of further violence. He even sent a piece of Paul Stine's blood-stained shirt to prove his claims. One of the most chilling aspects of the Zodiac case is the apparent enjoyment the killer took in public fear and media attention. He seemed to revel in the notoriety, using it to torment the victims' families and the authorities further. His last confirmed letter was received in 1974, but the case remains open, and the identity of the Zodiac Killer continues to be a subject of intense speculation and investigation. Over the years, numerous suspects have been proposed, but none have been definitively linked to the crimes. The most well-known suspect was Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester and former school teacher. Allen matched some of the physical descriptions given by survivors and owned a Zodiac brand watch, which featured the same cross-circle symbol used by the killer. Despite extensive investigations and circumstantial evidence, no conclusive proof ever linked Allen or any other suspect to the murders. As the 1970s gave way to the 1980s and beyond, the case gradually went cold but never lost its grip on the public imagination. The Zodiac's letters and ciphers continued to fascinate and frustrate those who sought to unravel the truth. In 1991, another letter purportedly from the Zodiac surfaced, but it lacked the distinctive style of his previous communications, leading many to doubt its authenticity. Advances in forensic science have offered new hope in the quest to unmask the Zodiac. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, DNA testing became a crucial tool for investigators. Evidence from the crime scenes, including stamps and envelopes from the Zodiac's letters, was re-examined for traces of DNA. In 2002, a partial DNA profile was developed from saliva on a stamp, but it did not match any profiles in the national database, nor did it conclusively link any of the main suspects to the crimes. In 2019, the case gained renewed attention with the use of advanced genetic genealogy techniques. These methods, which had been successfully used to identify the Golden State Killer, fueled hopes that the Zodiac's identity might finally be revealed. However, to date, the Zodiac Killer remains unidentified, a ghostly figure that still haunts American criminal history. A particularly intriguing development occurred in 2020 when a team of codebreakers announced they had finally cracked the notorious 341-character cipher sent to the San Francisco Chronicle in November 1969. This cipher had stumped experts for decades, but the decrypted message revealed another taunt, with the Zodiac denying he feared the gas chamber because it would send him to paradise. Despite this breakthrough, the code did not offer new clues about the killer's identity. As the years have passed, the case of the Zodiac Killer has continued to inspire a legion of amateur sleuths and professional investigators. Websites, forums, and social media groups dedicated to solving the case have sprung up, each offering theories and analyses of the available evidence. Some believe the Zodiac had military training, given his use of cryptographic codes and apparent knowledge of firearms. Others speculate he might have been a police officer or someone with insider knowledge of police procedures, explaining his ability to evade capture. In addition to Arthur Lee Allen, several other individuals have been suggested as possible suspects. Among them was Richard Gaikowski, a newspaper editor whose appearance and behavior seemed to match some descriptions of the Zodiac. Another was Lawrence Kane, who had a history of mental illness and criminal behavior, and whose physical appearance resembled the composite sketches of the killer. Despite these and other leads, no suspect has been conclusively proven to be the Zodiac. The true identity of the Zodiac Killer remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in criminal history. His reign of terror left a lasting impact on the victims' families, the communities he targeted, and the field of criminal investigation. The case has inspired countless books, films, and documentaries, each attempting to unravel the enigma of this shadowy figure who once prowled the streets of Northern California. As we reflect on the legacy of the Zodiac Killer, it's important to remember the lives that were tragically cut short and the families who continue to seek closure. This case serves as a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of society and the relentless pursuit of justice by those dedicated to solving the unsolvable. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into the case of the Zodiac Killer. If you enjoyed this story, remember to follow the channel, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. And don't forget to check out the upcoming videos that will appear on your screen. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.